via email, please use your Oakland University email account, which is Gmail now. So the difference that it makes, I'm not sure. So anyhow, I'm just doing my job here. Now, under general policies, I've got two notes, one on plagiarism and another one on your missed assignment or exam policy. Right? First off, on plagiarism, I quote the first block of text directly from the student handbook. I guess I'll just read it here. Plagiarizing the work of others. Plagiarism is using someone else's work or ideas without giving that person credit. By doing this, a student is, in effect, claiming credit for someone else's thinking. Whether the student has read or heard the information used, the student must document the source of the information. When dealing with written sources, a clear distinction should be made between quotations, which reproduced information from the source word for word within quotation marks, and paraphrases, which digest the source of the information and produce it in the student's own words. Both direct quotations and paraphrases must be documented, even if a student rephrases, condenses, or selects from another person's work. The ideas are still the other person's, and failure to give credit constitutes misrepresentation of the student's actual work and plagiarism of another's ideas. Buying a paper or using information from the World Wide Web or internet, which I always found a little bit redundant there, without attribution and handing it in as one's own work is plagiarism. Now, this is the part of the introductory lecture that I absolutely hate, because here I am waving my finger at you, and you haven't done anything. Right? So this is the act of plagiarism itself, the fact that I've come across a number of cases of this plagiarism actually puts me in sort of a nasty position insofar as I'm accusing you and you haven't even done anything. Right? That said, everything on my syllabus is here either to help you or because I've had some sort of problem in the past. So I should be clear here, there will be a zero tolerance policy on plagiarism in this course. And this is partially because of my position as a professor for Oakland University, and partially because I really want to discourage this because it's the most academically nefarious thing that's out there. It's a form of theft. So any student suspected of this form of theft will be automatically passed on to an academic review board. Right? This here is just what Oakland University requires of me. I am considered to be an adequate judge of your performance in this course, but I am not trusted to be a judge of authorship. Right? So if I suspect plagiarism, I can't even make the judgment. It needs to be put to a committee. Expulsion from the university once it goes to these committees is possible. Suspension is common. Automatically failing the course is my policy. So if you're just behind the 8-ball and you think just Control-C and Control-V from Wikipedia would save your butt, no, I read Wikipedia. I've got this funny little knack for being able to detect plagiarism. It doesn't pay. You'd be better to take a 0 on the assignment because a 0 in the course is what you'll get. Again, you haven't done anything, right? You haven't done anything yet, right? So, I don't want to punish you for things that you haven't done. Just don't do this and we won't have any problems. It's funny that it's got to be in the syllabus because, well, it's in the student handbook and you shouldn't do it anyway. Right? So, that ugliness aside, we have a missed exam policy. And I should be clear. I mean, life happens. I of all people know that life happens. So, in the unfortunate event that you miss an exam date due to serious illness or death in the family, you must notify me via email, by telephone, or by a message with the departmental office, either before the date and time in question, and I should say preferably before the date and time in question, or within 12 hours of the deadline. That's half a day. Otherwise, I will not be able to offer an extension. Now, when I design these courses, I teach a lot. I've got a number of students. I'm over 100 this semester. I'm over 100 pretty close to every semester. Right. So when you work hard on an exam, I try to give it a fair amount of time, energy, and attention when you pass it on to me. Now, I'm doing this for 100 people. Right. So in order for this course to flow and in order for work not to back up, I have to observe these due dates and deadlines for this course. So please try to get me the material by the date suggested. But if something comes up and you're just behind the 8 ball and something's happened, like you get sick or there's some sort of family emergency, of course I would give you an extension, but just please let me know that this is what you're doing, and we'll agree on what kind of an extension you can expect and how to handle this situation. I've had some situations in which we've had students miss the first midterm and at the end of the semester say, well, I missed the first midterm. Well, that's not good. So by then it's too late. So that said, it's important to take a look at your due dates. Midterm 1 for this course will be due February 3rd. Each of these midterms will be posted 7 days, 1 full week, before the deadline to Moodle. So you'll have access to that. So your first will be due on February 3rd, so in January, a week before that, I'll post it to Moodle, and you'll have a full week to work on that. Your second midterm will be due March 17th, so by March 10th, I'll have that posted to Moodle, and you'll have a full week to ask me questions, work on the material, that sort of thing. And then the final exam will be posted in the final week and be due April 21st, April 21st, 2010. By 2 p.m. 2 p.m. is my deadline on each of these days, just because I like to start grading as soon as possible. And if I've got it by 2 that day, I know I've got it by 2 that day. All right. If it's due by midnight, I wake up the next morning and get some in at 3 a.m., 5 a.m., what have you, and it's just a big mess. So if you get it to me by 2 p.m., I've still got some time within the day to handle miscommunications or failed email transmissions or incorrect file formats. The other thing I should say, and I'm going to post something to Moodle to this effect, I read .doc or docx formats. I can also open a PDF, but if it's a Microsoft Works or WordPerfect file, I can't read it, so I don't have it if you submit it that way. So that'll be the deal there. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about here is this tentative reading schedule. And like I was just saying about life happens, life happens. So the word tentative is in there to give you an idea that this is a projected sort of trajectory for the course and not absolute. Your due dates and deadlines are absolute, unless something catastrophic happens and I have to change those. But nonetheless, those are absolute. You can plan on those dates. But this reading schedule, it's sometimes we get a little bit further ahead, sometimes we fall a little bit behind.